Excellent.
Can I get one baker, shredded, please? All right.
Also missing one leg.
We now go to Anna, Andrew Learn. You are led down into the main foyer of the castle. Right before you is the main entrance. To your right, there's a staircase leading up, you believe, to the throne room. And to your left is the staircase you came from, leading up to your rooms. The dining hall is also over there. What do you do? Cyrus has led you down there. He's holding a small lamp.
Cyrus, there's a hallway above the chapel, going towards the entrance. Do you know what door that leads to?
Yes, sir.
Can you lead us there?
Certainly, sir.
Good.
You follow him up towards the throne room. You round a corner and then step through these large wooden doors, banded in iron. He pulls on it, takes several steps back, till it creaks open. There you see that hallway blackened by fire. There's still embers on the floor from wood and the rafters that had caught fire.
It's quite a smell.
Indeed. Do I see
Do
any
we see-
bodies?
You see off amidst the rubble, there seems to be a charred, blackened shape.
I'd like to move over to it.
You don't have to get too close before you recognize the form of it. They're curled half up, a skull, flesh melted to it, the mouth, the jaw slacked sideways, sinews peeled and red, the eye sockets empty now. Whatever skin and flesh had boiled and burnt, melted. A matted mass of whitish black hair, charred and brittle as in a mat, kind of firm against the skull. And there, on the ground, you recognize it to be Van Richten.
Alright. Let's go find Strahd then. I kick the head. Or the skull. Just as like a passing thing.
Okay.
And then I walk out.
Okay. You do that, it rolls to the side. You're caught up in the moment of it all. And half of you wonders why you even did that. But something about it just felt good. Somehow you had this mass of potential welled up inside you. You knew it was there. And finally you're seeing it come to fruition. Still, there's a small voice inside of you, not put there by Vladimir. Something of what you once were, and you wonder, only for a moment, if Mordenkainen would have approved. Somehow you doubt it. You never were strong enough. He was something of a legend, a god to you. You worshipped him. As you look there, you'd almost forgotten. the octopus that swims around the little globe at your side. It doesn't look to you anymore. It just sort of stares out. Tentacles pressed up against the glass, looking at the headless, charred corpse of Van Richten. You turn, and with that, you walk out.
I notice that it's looking at it.
Yeah.
I say as I walk past, don't look at the body. I'm
Sort
walking
of.
without saying a word.
It looks up at you as you turn. You follow Cyrus. See, he leads you back the way you came, up to the throne room.
I have not seen the master of this house. I believe he's parted since this morning.
Did he say where he went?
He did not. I am not his keeper.
I was not insisting that. I was merely suggesting he might have told someone.
No.
Where would he have gone? Said, don't really want to stay here tonight. I would like to go to Vlaki as soon as possible, but
Have you slept yet?
it has been a while.
I mean, possibly if you sleep and he might be here. I also didn't, I mean, I did not sleep the whole night or the whole morning, whatever. But he could be back by then. It's best to wait. He had matters to attend to, but he said he would be back.
That is fair enough.
Unless you'd like to go to Vlaki ahead.
No, I would have to speak with him beforehand. Make sure he knows what happened.
I did have books I was supposed to put in the carriage with you. It is prepared. But I suppose if you are to stay, I could have them brought up to your room.
I could also tell him myself what happened and let him know that you went to Vlaki. What do you want to do in Vlaki? You just mentioned that you wanted to go.
Yes. I want to prepare to go to the mountain.
To the mountain. Which one?
Gakis. I want to.
You'll need the right clothing for that.
Yes,
That's
yes,
the
and
one.
I'm hoping I can ask around in Vlaki. Cyrus, you know somewhat about the library, correct?
So,
Do you have any books on Mount Gakis?
I don't read much, sir, but I could show you back to the library if you wish it.
Sure, let's do that.
And you, miss, would you care to come with?
Sure.
Certainly.
He leads you across the throne room to. We'll do this. This is the throne room. Where are your pieces? Do you have them?
Nope.
I do not know where they went.
You don't have them. Do not see them either.
Oh, wait, hold on, right here. I do have them. He leads you out across the throne room. Here, there's a large wooden chair, gilded in foil and gold. As you pass it, you notice that it's worn with time. The flakes of gold have peeled off and sit there at the floor. The chair is actually facing the wrong direction. It's not facing towards the rest of the room, but you pass it. And Cyrus leads you up to a small door here and opens up to that library, the study. There, he looks in.
Oh, it's quite a mess.
All the books have been pulled off the shelves and lay all over the floors. You remember it because you've done this.
It was me.
I will leave you to it. Here is my lantern. If you should need anything, I will be in the kitchen.
Thank you.
Of course.
He goes and you see him walk this way, proceeds up through that door, closes it behind him.
What is your business on Mount Gagus?
I believe these amber pieces has something to do with something in the mountain. There's nothing truly concrete to go off of it, except for visions I've had that call me towards the mountain. And if what Strahd said is true, they can be somewhat of a soul-bearing stone.
Soul bearing.
Yes. I'm not sure,
Interesting.
but I want to see if somehow my friend is in there.
Your friend, you mean the one from a long time ago?
Yes, Gyro.
What if he does not want to come back? Isn't it almost disturbing? The peace of one who has already chosen that?
I don't know that he's chosen that though. There's no way of knowing.
I'm just saying he's beyond reach. He may. He is at peace. I don't know. Would you want to bring him back here?
I just want to bring him back.
But
Undo
is
the
it-
mistake that I've made.
Is it some sort of quest for redemption for yourself? For the guilt? Not actually leading with a logical mind, but more the guilt that drives you.
You could say there's a part of me that plays into that aspect of it, or that it's just this immense guilt that I felt over the many years that after having done this to him. There's also a different part. To see if I can do it.
Bring someone back from the dead.
A more trivial matter to what I'm proposing.
Okay, what are you proposing?
I want to see if I can go back in time. I want to truly control the flow of time. And this, I believe, is a good step towards that.
I see. Controlling time. Or being able to manipulate events in time. That could definitely be useful. I can see that.
Yes. Can go back, right wrongs. If I hadn't thought about it, but go to the future, see how events have transpired, go back and make sure that doesn't happen.
I would.
Stop people from doing things before they do them.
Too good to be true, is what it sounds like, but I would like to join you there.
Excellent. That would be quite grand. We first have to get there, though, of course. We have to get the bloody furs from a bear.
Bet I know who we can ask.
Yes, and who would that be?
Of course, Lady Lockta.
She would know where they would be, or where to buy one.
I do remember in the book I read that I'm pretty sure there is some town or village that you need to buy it at first that's below the mountain. I think that there, maybe in the book I read back in Blocky.
Yes.
I don't recall if that's quite right, but
We can get there without the fur, though. It's just when we get onto the mountain, correct?
we need it when we're on the mountain, but possibly the town could provide it. That's right below the mountain, if that's true.
Okay. Did you read about what bear it comes from? Or what animal?
What I remember.
I want you to roll for. Oh, let's roll for intelligence.
Great. Yeah, I know.
Idiots.
Not a good one.
No, that's
12?
10.
Oh, you're on the sleepiness.
You are having trouble remembering the name of the bear, but you do remember that you did carry with you a map.
I do have a map, actually. Of the town. Is that what you're talking about?
Of the region. So if there's a town truly there, it should be on the map.
Let's look at the map.
Oh, no, of course, the map. Yes.
Mount Gargis. It does not look. Oh, it's a very big mountain. But look, Mount Gargis. There does not seem to be any town below. Just the Luna Lake. What is that? It's a bridge.
Yeah, it's a bridge.
I see. I don't see any on the map. Especially from where we are. It is not that far away. We have friends at the Tessau pool. Oh, as well as, I'm sure, here's another Vistani camp we could stay at before we venture there.
Perhaps they would even know where this other town is. It is not
But,
on the map.
I mean, from where we are, Vloki seems a little far out of the way. If we are wanting to go here next. We are here. Here, thank you. I don't know, it seems quite close. It was 2 days' ride to Vloki carriage.
It was one.
Do we know the
It was
distance?
one. Oh,
You
from
rode
Castle.
from around 4 in the morning till around dusk the next day.
I see.
Do we know the distance?
That
Yeah,
you know
the
it in time.
Oh, we know it in time. Okay.
Okay. Technically we could get there in a day, but
You can travel roughly 26 miles a day on foot. You can travel slightly more if you push, but
Or I mean,
Flight does not last that long.
we could always see if Strahd has something. I did find some form of furs in my closet as well.
And it would be good to ask him.
He may have something here.
That is true. I would still like to go to the Locky though to gather food preparations just in case there's not a town there before going up the
But
mountain.
why not here? Seems like we could get everything here.
I guess that is true, yes.
Really, the only reason I wanted to go to Vloki is to talk to Lady Vokta, but that can wait. We really could go to the mountain. We have more of what we would need here.
Yes, that is true.
Do you want to read up on the mountain some more? See if you can find some books, or would you want to rest? And just talk to Strahd when he gets back.
I think I will read up a little bit more on the mountain. I'm going to think about the Locky. I don't know. It does make sense that we wouldn't really need to go there. With most things we would need here, the only thing we might need to go there is for the fur if they have something there. We have no idea of knowing.
Potentially, exactly. Strahd would know more about it for sure. He's been to both of the camps, I'm guessing, for the Vistani, and can potentially know if someone even there has something.
Yes, I guess the only reason I would really want to go is I know I'm curious about Amadeus.
Well, did you leave? I wouldn't know if you left or not, would I?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't know that. Sorry.
I don't know.
That's true. I mean, he wasn't in the room. I assume he would have gone there.
Wasn't there a note?
Yeah, but they didn't see it.
I didn't see it. I didn't pay attention to it.
Or he could be somewhere around the castle, I guess.
Could. I don't think he would want to stick around though.
If anything, he could potentially come back there.
He could. I don't know. Something makes me want to go there, but it doesn't really make sense, I guess. So I'll think about it. We'll see. Perhaps we just leave here straight to the mountain.
Be the best best for us right now, I guess.
What do you do in this time that you have?
I'm gonna just grab books from the shelves and read anything I can about the mountain.
Okay. And what would you like to do?
Is there any books on Squawk
Okay. Yeah, both of you go ahead and roll for investigation.
Gosh,
Wow.
that 7 is terrifying.
I got a 7 as well.
11. I get plus 4
But
though.
what is it for roll for what?
Investigation.
Investigation.
Oh man.
Is that -1?
Yep. 6.
So, you look for a good amount of time. Sorry, 11?
Yeah, 11.
11. Looking through all these books, you find few of them on topography. There are some about the region, but many of them seem outdated. They mark the land as being quite warm. Snow melting in the summer. Clearly, there's no summer here. There doesn't seem to be much of use, other than you do find the name of some local flora and fauna, many of which you don't recognize, but then one that catches your ear, the Yullik bear, is the name, the bear that you had forgotten.
Write it down.
Anna, as you are reading through different books, flipping through pages, something of it starts to drone on. You're there for hours and hours. The day escapes you. Eventually, you're sitting there in this cushioned armchair, and you begin to drift off into sleep. Verlaine, you don't even seem to notice as your head down in books. And with that, I think we'll go to Amadeus. Amadeus, you
Straight and you die.
I know. I might need it.
are. Oh, where are we? You are just outside the city, walking along the road. As you walk there in the night air, you notice that you're far enough from the city to turn. No one can see you this far out on the road, but you do follow those tracks as they lead off towards the forest on your left. You turn into a raven.
Yes.
You continue to follow it, hopping along the ground. And
Can
then
I see the trail from the trees?
you would not be able to see it that high up.
Okay.
It's something you sort of have to study and follow. So you continue on the ground?
Yes.
You continue left towards the south, heading closer and closer into the woods. You notice
Can
there.
I use pass without trace?
Sure. Yeah, you do that. Forming slightly back into your human form in order to cast the spell, and then molting back again into a raven. You hop along the ground there, up onto branches, looking, watching, seeing the path, twigs broken, grass shredded. Soft earth presses a large, strange paw print, similar to that of a wolf, but different, larger. Something you've never seen before, and you're beginning to think Lenore might have been right. Lycanthropes, werewolves. You continue further along this path. How long or how far do you let it take you? How long would you follow it?
A couple hours.
Okay. committed to finding this. You continue until you see a large clearing, much of the grass bedded down, torn. You see something glint in the moonlight, and there, a tankard out in the middle of the forest, pewter. You look around and see signs of life. People were here. Someone made camp. There's a fire that was burned and put out. You see that it was done hastily. And then the whole path continues southwest.
I'd like to continue to follow it.
You do. And eventually, off in the distance, you begin to hear the faintest sound of a violin through the trees. Music. You recognize it. Not the song itself, but the jingling of tambourines, of beads, of dancing. You hear the neighing of draft horses. And you can guess before any form of light or lantern comes through those trees, and it does, the Vistani. You make your way closer following the trail, and you see, in fact, perched upon a hill, there's a large ring of wagons, horse-drawn wagons, circled around some large tent atop the hill, and there's hovels dug into the side of it. People, little figures, dance up around some fires on the hillside. You see a few dark shapes walking up and down from these hovels that are lit with the faintest light of oil lamps.
You said the trail is gone?
It continues, but it comes past this area.
Yeah. I'm just gonna fly over.
Okay. You fly up. You do that, and you just get a view of that camp from above. People dancing, laughing. It's a rather large camp of Vistani. And as you look closer, with your raven eyes, you're able to see some of them, in fact, aren't Vistani. There's dusk elves, men. It turns your stomach slightly as Rahadin is the only other dusk elf that you've seen before. You fly for a moment. What do? Do you continue to follow the trail, or?
Continue to follow the trail.
You pass by. No one seems to take notice, for you dart back into the forest and continue to follow it. It goes and goes. They were hasty. They picked up their pace here. But still, they hugged that tree line. Surely the Vistani must have heard them, seen them, noticed them. Or maybe not. But it's clear now the direction they're headed. Southwest. Argembastholt.
I am going to fly back to Valaki.
Okay. You do that, the violin music playing, ringing out through the trees. You get the sense that eyes might be upon you, but no words are spoken. You turn and look. In fact, you do see an older man muttering as he stares, both hands outreached towards you and his eyes wide open as he's muttering to himself. Do you do anything?
I'd like to fly into the forest.
Okay. You do that. You soar back into the trees. You feel his gaze lifted from you. There's a strangeness about it. You feel off, sickened, and yet there's this sense of a hurry, of a rush that you have to get back to Valaki. You soar then through the trees faster and faster, speeding over and under branches as if it's second nature now to you. You come out of the clearing and back towards the road. You make it there. Do you turn back into your uniform?
Yes.
Yeah. You spin, turning, folding, clothes launching from you as you kind of pull the tatters of them back together as they stretch and tear. But you piece back your garb, clip back on your latch. As you continue forward towards the gate, you see guards there peering out. Just one now. Is that you?
Yes, it's me.
Wait, one moment. He goes and starts until the portcullis opens. There you are, sir.
Thank you.
Comes back down.
I'm gonna go towards my house.
Okay.
Rush over to my house, actually, I should say.
You do that, running through the streets there, your feet clicking against the cobblestones, until eventually you finally come to your house. Lights are on inside. Lenore is there on her hands and knees. She is scrubbing at the floor now, trying to get the stain of blood out of it. Oh, you're home.
Lenore, we need to go now.
What do you mean?
The lycanthropes?
Yeah.
Lycanthropes are heading towards our boss.
The werewolves?
Yes.
Now?
Now.
Okay, okay. She just goes and she grabs a knife and she goes and reaches with her other hand. She just puts her knife in her pocket. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Okay. Two of you walk back out of your house. Do you step into a side street or?
Yes, step into the side street.
You kind of come out back around it and then turn to ravens. You fly then.
How does she fly?
Oh, yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I was
You-
wondering about that.
She gets outside, stands there a moment, you turn. If she's standing there left in the street, this is the first time she's even forgotten. You continue to fly up in the air before looking back and realizing that she's back on the ground.
She can still turn into a raven, can't she?
She can.
Okay. I can pick her up.
She's standing there in her human form.
I'll need to carry you.
Should I even come?
Lenore, you're not safe here, so yes, you should come. It's not a question. It's not Matt asking you.
Okay. She begins to molt and turn slower, shrinking, shriveling down into a bird. And there she just kind of looks up at you, lopsided with one wing.
I pick her up.
You turn into your were-raven form?
Yes.
You do that. Picking her up in your talons, you your wings much larger, stir the air, and you slowly take off, soaring above your house, above the other houses. Then you hear from behind you in the street, "Whoa, look! What is that?"
It's Fuck it off.
Dang.
You hear a couple people in the street. Oh, God, what is that? Is that some sort of bird? So you continue to fly. Takes you a bit longer. You're much slower in this form. You continue to soar then over the trees. You soar then over the trees, over the road, and out towards Ardenbostholt. We're now going to go back to the two of you.
But my theme music just started.
It just started.
Sucks to suck.
Okay. The two of you are in the castle.
Scoop, I can fly permanently. So. For now.
Anna, you're asleep. So much of the day has passed away. Relern, you continue studiously going through books till you hear a, "Oh, excuse me, sir."
Ooh, wait, real quick. Could I use arcane recovery with this?
Okay, what does that do?
I get to regain expended. Arcane recovery. I can. Oh, sorry. I can recover expended spell slots after studying my spell book.
Okay.
Can I count that for this, or?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
We'll go ahead and do that. You took, we'll just say you took kind of a long rest as you're doing this.
Okay.
Let's
Cool.
just do that. Yeah, as you're reading these books, Anna has drifted off to sleep. Actually, you are getting very tired yourself. You've been up now for, 72 hours, something like that. And as you're going through these pages, you find your eyes drifting off. Much of them are unclear. Many of them magical tomes, and you can't understand them. They seem to become less and less clear the more you try to focus. Every time you reread a page over and over again, it's nothing. It means nothing. Maybe you forgot to read it. You read it again and still nothing. You look up in frustration and you see Anna's asleep in her chair.
Of course she is. Cyrus said something, right?
Yeah, Cyrus comes in. "Excuse me, sir.
Yes, what is it?
I don't mean to bother you, but I was told to bring these books to Valaki with you, sir.
Okay.
They are in the carriage, sir, and I could bring them to Valaki, or I could bring them up here to you."
We'll bring them to the Locky.
Am I to bring you to Valaki, sir?
Is Strahd here right now? Have you seen him come back?
No, sir. I have not seen him.
Maybe it would be good if I just went, took care of these books and left again. Maybe I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna kind of push her awake real quick.
Okay.
Just kind of nudge her.
Alone?
It's been a long night.
Yes.
I'm going to head to Valaki
You're
with
going to
Cyrus, sort out the books that Strahd has given me, and hopefully run into him.
You could not keep them here?
I want to get set up in Valaki more. I like the town very much, and I think it's more my place for right now.
Well, we're only going to be here a day. It's not like
I know.
we're moving in.
I know, but I also want to see Amadeus while I'm there.
But you don't even know if he's there.
I know. And if he's not, he's not. And I'll come right back. But I want to at least see if he's there. I totally understand. You can stay here. I'm not gonna ask you to come with me.
I'll
But-
meet you there, I'm sure. Or I'll meet you back here. But I'll stay for now.
Alright. I also need. So glad that there's going to be a carriage ride because I'm quite in need of sleep at this point.
Yes, you haven't gotten any sleep for the last few days.
No. But.
Right.
Never mind. I'll tell you when I get back.
Alright. I look forward
Yes.
to that, really. And be safe. And I'll see you soon.
Yes, I will see you soon as well. Alright, Cyrus. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He goes and walks you out into the throne room again, back down the stairs, and eventually to the black carriage. You proceed into that carriage and ride off over the drawbridge, out into the night. Cyrus at the helm, sitting at the bench. It seems to fly through this forest. How quickly these draft horses, coal black, seem to run. As you near the ledge of a cliff, you look out over it and see the far precipice, long down to a sudden drop and a stop, or a rushing river seems to run just beyond the town of the village, Barovia. Anna, what do? You really only took part of a nap as you drifted off to sleep.
Can I go down to the crypts?
Sure.
I'd like
You
to.
walk through this castle, now seemingly alone. How would you get there?
I think it was to in the chapel down.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I was like, I
Yeah.
remember
That's what I'm looking
the
for.
chapel down.
You walk through this hall filled with statues and down these steps towards the chapel. There you remember off to your right a staircase that spiraled lower and lower and lower down to the depths of the castle. There it seemed to open up and was all lit when Strahd led you here last, but now without him. The torches, all of them, were dimmed, were off. You stand there in darkness, but for a faint light emanating from the far end of the hall, there seem to be open windows to sky, which is strange for it being so low here in the castle. But that dim light is enough for you to see in your state and read through the crypts.
Is one of the torches like available for me to like?
It is, yeah, they're all in their sconces.
But is one still like dimly on? Sort of like dimly
No,
lit?
they're all
They're all gone?
off,
Oh, okay.
burned out.
They're all
They're all turned off.
But I can still see the names of these.
You can, yeah, through the dim light. You have a sort of dark vision.
I do.
You go through reading them. Artemis, builder of the keep.
I'd like to go back to Sasha.
You pass Kazan, and you find it there. Sasha.
Was there any that
Skova.
I didn't know? You know, any names that I have not known yet?
Do you continue to look further, or sorry, what names you don't know?
Yes.
Is that what it
Like over, I know the ones that I've been recognized as lives, but are there any others I don't know?
Oh, you look for more wives.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes you a moment. You go through them.
And I like to count.
Okay. Yeah, you see one. Let me get the list up. You see one.
Jeez.
It takes you a moment as you go through each one of these crypts, scanning, trying to read. You pass several that you don't seem to recognize, some named Brides, Anastasia. The thought of it, you haven't seen her, you haven't seen any of the brides since your time at the chapel.
Oh, those brides.
You find Olia, one that you recognized before. You find Anya.
So you can, if
I might have to
Sasha-
tell you some more of them,
That's
but
okay.
I have the list here now.
That's okay.
Okay.
And then can I go back to Sasha once I
Yeah.
count them all and stuff?
Yeah, you count through them. There is something from the ones that you've seen in your time kind of walking through each of these scripts. You counted at least 12 other lives.
Can I see if I can open Sasha's?
You go up to it and you see that as each of them, they are mortared in place. These large marble stones and plaques, without completely destroying that stone. There doesn't appear to be a way in.
I see.
You place your hands on it, kind of feeling that cold marble. You get this unsettling feeling in your chest. It almost seems to flash before you in a split second. You're not sure you actually saw it, but you think you see the face of your son, Gustav, little boy. You take a step back. And you're still standing there in the dark of the crypt.
Would I know how to get back to the balcony?
Outside? Yeah, you could wander around for a bit. You do that, you kind of find yourself back up in the chapel, and you realize that you were behind the chapel. So you wind your way back out to the front, come around the sides. You actually see that portcullis is drawn, cutting off some of these curtain walls. There doesn't seem to be a very clear way back towards the balcony there.
Can I see where his crystal, do I remember where that was?
You remember that to be in one of the high towers, not the tallest, the second tallest.
Can I go that way?
Yes. You remember walking back up towards your room and continuing. You wind these long steps all the way up to the roof. And there you see, staring out over all the castle, the gargoyles, some of them perched across this bridge. And the fence that might have acted as a handrail is bent and torn out, as if something violent had occurred there. On either side of that bridge is a sheer drop. But you can see the faint glowing red coming from the doorway towards inside that tower. You almost can hear the resonant thud, thud, thud of a heartbeat.
I can't go in. It's not,
You can cross it, yeah, but it's across the bridge.
and the bridge is,
It's rather thin, only about 5 feet across, and then the guardrails on either side are torn off.
I'm gonna go.
You walk across there, the gargoyles perched don't move, but you get a sense that they're sentient. how they stare.
I've seen them move before.
You suspect you have, yes.
In
Oh, yeah, the first time you came
yeah,
here,
I've
have,
seen I've seen them move.
They move so slowly before that you almost thought it was a trick of your eyes. You watch them, they don't seem to move. But as you cross that bridge slowly, you begin to hear it, that thud, 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 thud of a heartbeat. And with that, we're gonna go back to Amadeus.
Yes. Now turn around and go back to Milwaukee.
No, he's gonna use the Argon Boss Bolt. I'm gonna go there.
Sorry,
Go back.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Well, so is your house gonna be?
You don't even know where I live.
I can ask Lady Martha.
Yeah.
You don't even know if I have it. Oh, I did today.
You did say you got a
My bad. My door is broken off.
That
No,
will happen regardless.
It would
but
be, yeah. Thank you.
There's one thing you're good at. It's breaking someone's door.
Yeah.
I've also found out dragons are burning things.
That's so true.
You soar.
I don't know what motivation you would have.
Exactly. See, I don't have any motivation.
But he doesn't need
over
to.
those forests until you see the great parapets and towers of Argynvostholt, this grand mansion at the edge of this forest here, with large stone dragon carved out front. You see figures moving there in the woods, running. You can hear them, screams, howls of pain, voices, shouting. As you come closer and closer, they come more clearly. Much of the action has already occurred. You see there, as you near this clearing, a werewolf, full hybrid form, runs through the forest, chasing after a man. As he lashes at him with his claws, the man goes forward and arch. His neck seems to twist, and you hear that sick tearing of flesh as it spins him as he collapses into a tree and falls there. You hear this crunch as this wolf, with violence to the teeth.
Let's see. Babies.
Yeah.
So wolf over here in these trees.
Great. Are they inside? This is organized.
Yes, that's our.
Are they inside at all?
Yeah, the door's already sprung open. You hear more screams coming from inside.
Hey, my house is still here.
Just go on there.
Wait. Oh no! My house is floats away.
Where's the rose? You got taken out.
There's no place I go. Still here.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. You're on this one.
You're on your own, bud.
Yeah, and even Lenore's not much help now.
She's probably pretty good one arm, you know?
I have
I mean, she only has one arm to use one sword now instead of two, so.
Yeah.
Okay. You now see the chaos that's occurring. Men, children running out of the forest. You actually see this wolf here. As he lunges down at a child. You don't remember who. You don't know their name, but you've seen them before. They're maybe 13 years old. As he latches onto them, biting their neck as he tears. The whole child seems to spin as he grabs them only by his mouth and swings the body, tearing. Something rips, and the body goes tumbling up to the side. The wolf gets up and howls out into the night before running and latching onto the body, tearing it.
Can I shoot an arrow at him?
Sure.
Silver arrow, by the way.
Yeah. Roll the hit.
Hopefully.
Come on, man, come on.
That is a 16 plus 3 is 19.
Yep, that is.
God.
Oh,
Yeah, but I-
remember, I gave you an inspiration point last round.
I do remember that.
Last session, I mean.
I do.
I just want to make sure you know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. It's gonna be 10 damage.
Okay. Heck yeah, dude.
But it's silver tip. Is that the silver tip?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
silver heavy damage.
No, it's 10 damage. But the wolf howls, turning over to you as it notices it grabs at it, tears it off, it roars. It comes bounding towards you. Lenore takes several steps back, holding her knife in her hands. The thing comes running towards you. Go ahead and roll for initiative. First time we're gonna do
That's terrible.
this. 17.
Not more than me.
Okay.
I have 15.
Let's go with 13. Does that hit?
No.
Okay, I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's another attack. 19 plus
That
4,
hits.
that hits. Okay. You take
I have less armor class, but I take half the damage.
9 damage as he latches onto your arm and just he bites hard. You're able to kind of hit him and he falls off over to the side as he goes sprawling out on all fours, snarling at you. It's your turn.
You said it's 9 damage?
9, yes.
I'm gonna turn to your were-raven.
Okay. You do that. You kind of fold and form, your wings growing back from your back. You grow much larger than you were before, and the wolf kind of snarls back, almost barking. Now it chuckles at you. So that is going to be your action. Did you want to do any movement?
Can I use my extra attack? Or is that only count by attack?
Sure.
I'm gonna use my talons.
Okay.
It's gonna be 17.
17.
Get plus 6 to hit.
Okay. Yep, that hits.
It's gonna be 8.
You got it. Come on, man.
That's terrible. That's terrible. 5.
5.
Okay,
Yeah,
terrible.
2d8.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of lash at him as you beat your wings back. You scratch at him with your talons. One catches him across the face, but he's now going to jump at you, slashing back at you. That's plus 4, 19. That does not hit. He slashes back at you with a claw. He's going to deal 7 damage as it lashes across your leg, slicing at you. He goes to lunge at you, biting, but your wings, as you beat them backwards, you fly just out of his reach as he follows you forward. At that point, Lenore has turned and sees another one coming at her in the woods. She goes, Amadeus! She goes, holding her knife forward, starting to turn into her raven form. A wing flaps out from her side and she sort of goes off kilter, lunging back, falling slightly as the wolf kind of comes up towards her. Okay. It runs at her, slashing at her. She kind of bats it away with her knife. Let's say it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna fly over that one and talon it.
Okay. This one gets an opportunity attack against you. Yeah, misses. It slashes at you as you sort of bat your wings out of its way, and then you attack this one.
Yep, with my talons.
Okay, roll the hit.
13, so it's gonna hit with 19.
19, that hits.
12.
12 damage.
I'm also gonna do a second attack.
Okay, go for it.
20.
A natural.
Okay.
Yeah, that 20.
Nat 20. Nice. Okay, so this is crit. That means you roll twice. 17. Sick. Okay. Yeah, describe how you attack it.
I want to grab my talons by his head and just rip it off.
Okay. You latch onto him, pulling at his head, your talons digging deep as he howls out in pain. His large paws they just latch onto your legs there, trying to more pull you off of him rather than attack you. But he's holding on, and you sort of drag him. How far do you drag him? How far?
Yeah. As far as I can.
Okay.
Probably just to the entrance.
Yeah, you get about that far with him. His head lashed within your talons. This one is going to run at you. You rolled a 15. Does that hit?
Yeah, that'll hit.
That hits. Okay. And then a 10 does not hit. Okay. He runs towards you. He lunging. He slashes with his claw, dealing another 8 damage to you. Just. And then he goes to bite at
Oh,
you.
I forgot.
Barely
Actually,
misses.
it's slashing damage.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, it does half damage.
Oh, okay. We'll do that.
My bad.
Because you're a were-raven, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to make 3.5.
Okay.
You're at 53.
Well,
As that happens,
I did the math in my head.
you hear this howling from inside. You see a werewolf chase someone out of Argynvostholt. It's a woman. She runs down these stairs here. The wolf is nearly upon her when suddenly, out from behind that wolf, Elvir comes slashing at it with the sword. He whacks it in its back. The wolf kind of arches and turns back on him as this person sort of runs out to the clearing. That wolf. Yeah, it gets him.
Where's the one guy?
No, not the. No, that's the brother.
Okay, that wolf
Oh,
Brother,
yeah, okay.
it lunges at him, grabbing him hard, and it bites him hard in the neck. He goes down right there in the middle of the doorway as that wolf is on top of him. They're grappling now. The wolf's teeth clenched around him.
Can I run or can I fly over to attack?
It is currently this wolf's turn. It's going to try and break your grapple. Roll for strength.
9.
Okay. Yeah, it's able to pull itself away from you, taking most of its action. It sort of stumbles back and snarls. It does so and sort of disengages, stepping a couple times back. But you notice as it does that, the claw marks, the talons that you scratched across his face, they seem to mend and stitch and heal back over. Almost all that damage that you've done to it is healed and sewn back, stitched together. Watch in horror as that growls at you, the blood seeping back into the pores. This wolf coming towards you. It is your turn, but this one is on you, so to leave him would mean he gets an opportunity to attack.
Okay, I'm gonna still go for that.
Okay. He fails. So how do you attack this one?
I'm gonna try grabbing it the same way I did the other one. Try pulling it away.
Okay.
5 butts. 11.
11. No.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
Okay. 17. Yeah, with that you grab onto it. You hear Elvir scream, "Ah! Oh God!" But you're able to pull the wolf off of him as he's sort of strewn there on the steps. You pull that wolf back this direction. Okay.
Do I still take down damage?
Yes. Go ahead and roll. 11. Okay.
And then I want to use my extra attack again
Okay.
and try to dig my talons into his eyes.
Okay.
23.
23. Yeah, I mean hits. You go and do that. You pierce the talon deep into his eye socket.
10 damage.
10 damage, yeah. The talon goes deep, and you hear the wolf just howling. With that, it seems to draw more wolves now from the thicket. With that, you see behind you, just glancing, Lenore has come to this woman's aid.
She's still in Raven form?
Lenore? No, she's back in human form. She kind of goes with her, running with her for a moment there, until she pushes her off into the air, and she begins to sort of flutter, fly low to the ground, slowly taking off. Okay. You hear more screams coming from inside. It is now this one's turn. He's going to turn towards you. Nope. As he goes slashing at you,
He falls over.
he lashes at you. You're beating your wings at him, and it sort of throws him off as he's slashing in the air. He catches a handful of feathers and nothing more as you sort of spin. This one then comes towards you. Ooh, no. One. No. It slashes at you, tripping over and going sprawling on the ground this way. That's when this wolf comes towards you. With a 15 plus 4, that hits. Yeah. You take 6 damage, or so 3, as it lunges, latches onto your leg. And you see then Lenore trying to run past you here, and another wolf comes out, attacking her. Nope. 7. It runs at her, and she's able to duck out of the way as it lunges past it. She runs up towards Elbeer. It is now your turn.
So the same one I had my talon stuck in. I'm gonna keep digging him.
Okay.
Digging him.
Yeah. Go ahead and.
It's gonna be 14.
Okay. Yeah, you are doing that as it's trying to break free. Go ahead and roll for damage. 17? Okay, you deal 17 damage. You notice already as you pull, do you pull your talon from its eye socket, or do you just continue to like force it in? Just keep forcing. Okay, as you squeeze harder and harder, that talon, you feel it slip, and all of a sudden, the wolf seems to drop limp for a second, but then only on half of its body as the other arm sort of mangled, turns and still continues to try and scratch at you. It seems to have lost function of its right side. So I can still pierce up into its
Shoot
brain.
bow and arrow, right? We're Raven form or now?
Yes.
Okay, can I just grab one of my silver arrows and just stab it into its head?
Okay. Yeah.
For my extra attack.
Yes. Go ahead and roll the hit. Okay. You lunge at it. It's sort of.
Just 'cause it's on the ground.
You do, but you're aiming at such a small area as it's sort of like lashing around. So I'm gonna say you pierce at it. It bounces off its skull there, slicing it deeply, but no, it doesn't go into its eye. As you're there, you do see Lenore bend down, trying to pick up Elbeer's. Elbeer's sort of staggering to his feet, but he's laughing at his throat. Just blood begins to spurt and pour then from his fingers as she sort of starts to lead him off the steps. He grabs at her, and as they come that way, another wolf comes out from between those trees.
What?
This wolf. Okay. This wolf comes towards you. That's
13, yes.
13 plus 4. What's your AC? 7.
Where Raven is lower is 12.
Okay, 12. Okay, good. So that first one hits, second one does not hit.
Yes.
Okay. 2 damage as it slashes at you with its claws. The other one's gonna go. 1 hits. take another 3 damage as it slashes at you from behind or here, catching one of your wings. And then, whoa, that was 18. That's the wolf there. That wolf there grabs onto your leg and just squeezes, just its jaws clenched shut. I'm dealing 10 damage. Sorry, so 5 for you.
Yeah.
This one, rounding, comes closer. That one is going to try and break free. 14, go ahead and roll for strength. So it's 15, 16.
Oh, God.
Actually, he's going to roll with disadvantage. Oh, so 14. What'd you get?
Oh, I got 8.
8. It sort of slips from you as this one grabs your other leg. You go sprawling out on the ground. Okay. With that, this wolf lunging forward. Lenore. He misses. Lenore pulls Elvir back and goes back towards inside Ardenvost.
Are the doors broken open? Or?
One is splayed open, the other one is closed. So if this side is closed, this one's open.
Okay, so I can close it.
Theoretically, yes. What do you do?
Okay, I'd like to try to fly up the way from here.
Okay. You're going to get 3 opportunity attacks. 1 hits. No. 2 hits. Okay. So you're going to take. Nice. So you'll take 5 damage.
Is that already half or no?
No, that's all. Yes, that's already half.
That's already half.
Yep.
Good.
You take 5 damage there, but you are able to get off the ground as these wolves are lunging at you, slashing at you. This one here, writhing in pain, grabs at its eye and sort of starts to turn back to its human form.
Oh, perfect. Wait, where's he at? Can I like drag him in as I go?
He came up with his.
Right. Wait,
Sorry, he was able to escape you.
No, I
You
know.
have to latch onto him.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was
okay.
cool.
Yeah, roll to hit.
14, so...
Yeah, that hits, and then roll strength.
Oh. Damn it.
You got 8, 6. Okay. So no. So you can go ahead and take some. You can deal damage to it. 14. Okay. Yeah. Now when you catch him sidelong across the face, it spins him sideways, but you fly past him towards the door.
And yeah, like above the door.
Okay. You're gonna get to that door and start to close it when this wolf comes towards you. 9 does not hit. That hits. D14 plus 4. You take 4 damage. What are you at?
24 and a half.
Okay. Yeah.
Nailed the hat.
It lunges at you, grabbing onto you, as you're able to sort of punch it and it knocks it off. It's still there in the middle of the doorway though. Lenore's going to jump forward at it. She's going to hit. She deals 5 damage as she goes and stabs the wolf with her knife. The whole thing sort of pushes it back outside the door. She goes, close it, close it! With that was your turn. These ones are going to run forward. This one's going to try to attack her. No.
Damn, what's your freaking...
Okay. It slashes at her. She's able to sort of back up out of the way. And these other ones sort of come closer towards the door. This one sort of stumbles up under the steps. There's more of these wolves. You can't see where they are. Go ahead and roll for strength to close that door.
Come on, baby. That's a 9.
Plus 1.
Oh, 12.
12. Okay. With the 12, you begin to close it, pushing this door as hard as you can. One of the wolves is going to take another attack on you. It misses, slashing. Go ahead and roll for strength. able to sort of duck out of the way. You bat at it with your wing, and slowly, these doors close behind you.
the door in the first place?
True.
You hear the gnawing, the pawing, the scratching at the door, the howling at the moon.
Can I turn it back into human form?
You do. They're pushed up against the door. You see Elver there.
I'd like to heal him on his neck.
Okay. When you turn back to him, okay. He's already on his knees, slumped over onto his side. The life is almost gone from him. Go ahead and roll to heal.
I'm gonna use a 6, 12. Is that plus anything?
What is it? What kind of spell?
Healing.
I think plus, it's just 12.
What? It's just called healing? Is it healing?
It's
word?
cure wounds.
Oh, cure wounds. Let me check. Make sure. I think it might just be whatever you roll.
Okay.
Oh no, plus your spellcasting modifier. So you, is that wisdom? I don't know what your
I
spellcasting
thought it was
modifier is.
wisdom. Because I remember adding it before.
That's fine. Ranger.
Just in case, like 14.
Okay.
Spellcasting.
You go to heal him. Your hands reached out to him.
Wisdom.
Yeah, that's 14.
They collapse there on his neck, and you see him sort of squirm. That magic coming from your hands, slowly mending him. He's beginning to lose consciousness. But the flesh on his neck sort of stitching back together piece by piece until it's nothing more than a thin red line there. But as you look up, you think it oddly quiet until you see there across the room one of the werewolves' bodies drop. It hits the ground. The sickening thud begins to molt its fur, twisting and turning back into its human form.
Can I run over to it?
Totally nice.
As you run forward, you see there, as you get halfway in between these large chandeliers above, you see on a set of stairs a spectral figure stands. A sword protruding from it. It lashes it down at the ground, blood slicking onto the stones. And before you know, another figure. And then another,
Yeah, it's nothing.
and then another. And suddenly, you're catching glimpses of spectral blue light from all around the room. Visages of knights in their plated armor, many of them vacant stares. Some of them with true corporeal nature possess a corpse, but many just spirits wander floating through these halls. This one drags another corpse of a man and drops it there at your feet.
Are they just dead?
They are clear. Yes, they're undead. Yes, as they come floating, this one kind of comes forward. This breathless, this sharp hiss from its breathless lungs. You see its sword dragging it across the steps as it raises it above its head to lash out at you. What do you do? Three, two.
Can I roll to, I guess, turn back? I want to turn back to Warrior Raven.
Go for it. As you do, it slashes down at you. You sort of begin to molt and turn, but not before it catches you, slashing into your wing with a precise measure. The way it cuts, just it lashes at you, knocking you asunder. You turn, and molt. You are dealt 16 damage.
Is that half?
It is magical, so it deals full 16 damage. You see its gaping maw look down at you as it raises
Can I
its
just
sword
take
up
a
again.
talk?
It doesn't seem to hear you.
What's the one possessing him?
As it comes back down at you
Yeah.
again.
Oh, it's coming.
His name?
Vladimir.
What? You know
This time,
Vladimir?
you roll to the side. You say Vladimir?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to even care or notice that you're speaking as it lashes at you again, the sword clinking off the stones as it splinters. You roll just out of its way before you see another one stepping forward, and then another one headed towards your wife. As they come floating towards you.
Can I
you
get back up?
Yes.
Can I fly back to my wife?
This one gets an opportunity attack. Unless you use your action to disengage.
I'll use my action to disengage.
Okay. So you disengage. I think he can use one of his actions to disengage, and he can use the other as part of his
Yes, he has two
attack.
actions.
Okay, yes, you can do that. So you can disengage with one, and then you kind of fly up over him towards your wife.
What do we need to get out of here?
She goes backing up to the doors here. She goes trying to pull at it. They're locked.
What do you mean they're locked?
They're locked. It won't open. She goes and pulls at it. She does get hit by that.
Can I hold my amulet up?
Okay. You see this spirit as it lunges towards her. Its sword raised high, its shield dropping down to its side as it puts all of its rage and anger towards her. It lashes at her. It strikes her across her shoulder, spinning her down onto the floor, flat next to Elvir. And if I can grab the freaking right thing, we're gonna go with. I'm just gonna put this
Back to some...
Yeah.
And with that, we go back. Yeah.
That would be rough.
Terrible timing.
With that, you lift up that amulet, raising it high as the light shines out. You hear this howling pain from the spirit as it wails back. As they go skittering out across this whole hall. So this one goes to the wall here, clawing up it. It begins to crawl like a spider up that wall. Just you see bits and flecks of it splitting off into the ether. It's inflamed in this sort of white light. As you hold up that amulet to it, you hear a voice call out from behind you. Wait! 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 Do you turn to it?
With that?
Do you turn to it?
Yep.
You see, it no longer has a sword as it crawls up to you, hands and knees, while every other one is running, trying to skitter away. This one lays there prostrate out before you. Hide! 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 You see its fingers splintering and peeling back nothing. Just it fades in the mist. You hold it forth. What's that? What do you do? Oh.
That is so funny.
Okay. You hold it forth, and there it melts flesh, ethereal from him as it peels back to bone.
The morning, Lord. The morning.
You see him fade to bits and pieces. And a river of light fades. And as you turn, the rest seem to skitter like bugs away from rats, away from a light.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can actually see that.
I was looking back to give you an inspiration point.
Damn.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Never again.
Never again. You now stand there, the room empty, except for what you hadn't seen before. Several shapes on the floor now in your light become clear, bodies of werewolves.
Are they all dead?
Yes. Alver lays there next to Lenore. He doesn't seem to be breathing.
Oh, I'll go heal Lenore.
Okay. You run back over to her. There, that gash that split down her side and into her chest begins to knit back together. She goes from this jagged. She goes and starts spitting blood. Oh, you all right?
Am I alright? Are you alright?
Elvier. She goes back down towards him. He's not breathing. Elvier. She starts pounding on him. Elvier, wake up. Elvier. She starts slapping at his face. Elvier, wake up. She stares there. You look out of that room and you don't just see their bodies. Smaller, little ravens pieced amongst the floors.
Is there any I recognize? Or are they all ravens?
Most all of them are ravens that are close to you. There are some towards the back of the room, on either side, that seem to be in their half raven forms. When they passed this one, you see the pink flesh of someone. You're not sure from this distance.
Can I walk over?
You do, stepping over bodies. So you come to that far end there. Looking down, you see her father. Not far from him, obscured by part of the stairwell, slumped in the corner. Sat up and holding a sword is Adrian.
Can I go over to him? Is he still alive?
You're not sure at first glance.
I'm gonna check his pulse.
Yeah. You go down and you do feel something. You see the eyes vacant before you get to track to you.
Is he awake then?
Yeah, he is.
Adrian, can you hear me?
Blood comes bubbling out of him, frothy. You know instantly something's punctured his lungs. You look down and you see actually bubbles on his chest.
Can I heal his lungs?
Yeah, go down and you place a hand on it.
7.
7. Yeah. You see that kind of sputtering. You see more blood comes bursting from his mouth. See, he's trying to. He was here. He was here.
Who was here?
Devil was here. No. Devil was here.
Strahd?
They're all dead. Dead. His face sort of just drops off to the side. He continues to mutter to himself, dead. They're all dead, all dead. And then again, the devil was here.
That's when I go to the middle of the room, drop to my knees, and grip this really hard and scream in anger. Oh, I'm not
your
gonna
scream.
Yeah.
Good.
Ellie! You do that, and you see Lenore jolt, but she doesn't look up to you. Her face completely sodden in tears. She holds firm to Elvir's shirt. She puts her forehead down on his chest and continues to sob and weep. Place of massacre. You, in complete silence, you step on cobbled stones. Is your amulet still shining light?
Yes.
It does, casting harsh shadows out on the ground, and you see her face, rippled shining, shimmering wet with tears as she sobs then into her cousin in his chest. She just lays there, face down on her knees, knelt over him.
I'm just gonna kneel down towards her.
You do that, and she sort of pushes you off of her. She goes skittering back, holding her knife out.
No worries, she's good.
Her face pinched to a sour expression that she can't seem to peel away from as she goes skittering back up towards those doors there. There's no movement outside anymore. But you see that sheer look of terror on her face. And that harsh light. And with that, we'll go back.
What did he say?
Oh.
Who did?
Your boyfriend.
Fiance.
Oh.
He ain't gonna make it to the wedding.
How do you
isn't?
know? I mean, you don't know if that was the little wolves were there and that's what you thing, or if he was actually there. I don't know.
That was definitely him. Are you kidding me? After I didn't make a deal.
Could have been a different devil.
You just go to
You know,
Strahd
Lady
Club and
Lockett
you'll know.
worships one, so.
Fair.
Anna, what were you doing when we last left you?
I was up by his heart.
Yes. You staring up at this vast crystal heart. You watch it as it thuds and beats in some unnatural, twisted form of magic. The beauty of it, some massive gem, but it beats so organically as it folds and turns. You like to think that at that very moment, perhaps that's just as how his heart sounds, or would sound if it were beating. Thuds, thud, 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 thud. What do you do?
Stand there.
You stand there for some time. Day passes into night. And the night grows long. You're wary. You stare there at that heart. You see that spiral staircase as it winds down and down. It's completely open in the middle. A single misstep would send you falling tens of stories.
Do I know where it leads? The stairs.
You don't. Although, you have an inclination, actually, it might lead to the catacombs.
Into the catacombs?
Yes, yeah, that's where you were before.
Oh. I'm gonna go to the balcony. The one that, the highest balcony. Because we had to pass through it to get to it, right?
So there is a balcony that you came from. This is where your bedroom was down here, and then it went their bedroom, and then it wound up taller, and then you crossed a bridge here leading into this tower. There's a third tower, the highest one, that leads and doesn't seem to have any stairwells leading through it that you can tell.
Oh.
So you could follow this second tower, the second highest, up to its top.
I'll follow that.
Yeah, you wind up higher and higher, and you see at the top what looks like a latched trap door.
Can I try to open
Yeah, you go to that. You pull at it, it's locked.
it? Can I shove it?
Sure.
Try to.
Go ahead and roll for strength.
12. Oh, yeah, 12.
The 12, you really think it's very firm how it's built.
Lame. I can't sense if there's any way else to open it.
If you had the key or a way to pick it.
Alright, I'll go back down then.
You begin to wind back down those stairs, and actually I'm going to jump back over to Relearn.
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right, they were both sarcastic.
You exit the carriage, and not a moment that you stepped foot from it, it took back off again, roaring through the streets, back towards the castle.
I'm in Valaki.
You are.
Is it night or?
It is currently very early morning.
Was I able to sleep then on the carriage ride?
You are. Yeah.
Do I know how early morning or just very early morning?
Very early.
Alright. I'd like to go to the inn then. Okay. Blue Water Inn.
You head there, towards the inn, and you see there's lights on. It's actually, there's a couple people inside.
door open?
No, it's closed.
I'd like to open the door.
You do, and inside there are actually a couple people in the quiet of the inn. There's no music playing, but there are 2 hunters that are sitting at the bar and a couple other townsfolk at another booth. Danica is sitting there behind the bar, serving.
I'll walk up to the bar then.
You walk up there and she goes, "Relaine,
How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm well. Very well, actually.
Have you seen Amadeus?"
That is actually what I was hoping to come and see you about. I'd heard he had bought a house and I was hoping to see him for a little bit while I'm in town.
It's 113 on First Street.
Okay. You haven't seen him though?
Not in a little bit. I've heard he was about town, but he hadn't stopped in. I'm sorry for him. He came back from, he came back from the castle, I assume. Is that where, was he with you?
Yes, he was with me. He came back much earlier though.
I see.
I didn't even realize he had left actually until not too long ago.
You might look for him at his house. I haven't had a chance. We opened again.
I can see that. That's great actually.
Yeah.
Would there be any way I could get some food actually? And take it with me?
Certainly. I'll pack you. Just one moment.
Thank you.
She goes back into the kitchen for a little bit and eventually comes back out with a plate. There you go, dear.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I give her a gold piece.
You don't have to.
No, I know I want to. I want to help. Even if it's very little.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Say hi to Amadeus for me.
I will. I definitely will. Hopefully he's there.
You leave, enter
I
the
go
house.
to this first street.
Yeah.
Stupid.
You look for a little bit
Yeah.
and eventually come up to a house. You think it's the right one, 113.
113 First Street. I knock on the door. Amadeus? Hello?
There's no answer.
Lenore? Hello? I forgot her name for a second. That's what I worry.
Still no one comes to answer the door.
Is there anyone out in the street?
It's very early morning. You don't really see anyone out.
I smash the door with my quarterstaff.
What's new?
Yeah.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Okay. How long are you willing to spend doing this? Until you get in?
Yeah.
Okay, roll to hit.
Neato. 18.
Okay. Takes you about 5 minutes of banging on that door before just you're able to use your staff and pry it open enough to sort of fiddle with the latch and peel the door back.
I mend the door so that it looks brand new. Or it looks just like how I was there.
All right.
Make it better.
I can't do that.
Yeah, you step into the house and you see there the fireplace vacant. Not an ember still burns.
I call out, Amadeus, Lenore, are you here?
No reply.
I think if I heard you after 5 minutes of banging.
You never know, it could be a really deep sleeper. I just want to explore the house then. See what's here.
You look around and eventually you see it has a bedroom, an upstairs loft, and a blood-stained beneath the table.
Interesting choice. I leave.
Okay.
I try to lock the door behind me as I leave though.
Okay.
If I can.
How would you do that?
I
It would
walk
be a deadbolt.
I walk through the door and I mage hand behind the door to move the deadbolt.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Cool.
Alright, what do you do now?
I'd like to walk over to the Baroness's house.
It's still early morning, but eventually you come up to the house and you see that it's lively with people already. A man steps out carrying a bundle of something underneath a blanket. Excuse me, sir. And he's out into the street.
I keep going just straight to the door.
Okay. You get there. Do you knock or do you step in?
I just walk in.
Okay. You do that and you see a couple of people conversing in the hallway. They're just talking quietly amongst themselves. Excuse me. Can I help you?
No, I'm good. Where's Lady Vocta?
I'm sorry, do you have an appointment?
No.
Well, Lady Voctor expects you to make an appointment.
Even if
can
we're
do
very
so.
close friends, then? Can't a friend just stop by a house?
I'm sorry,
You
the
have a
lady
friend?
is very busy right now.
If you could just mention that I'm here.
She looks over to her friend. Okay. One moment. She goes. Heads left towards the study. You wait there, maybe 5 minutes. You see one of the other ladies. She looks like she's working on some sort of embroidery.
May I ask what you're doing?
No.
Wasn't really an actual question. I want you to tell me what you're doing.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay. Of course not. I'm gonna walk over there and just look at what she's doing.
Lady Voctor has very strict rules about who is to know about what we are doing, and unless I know that you are allowed to know, then I cannot tell you what I know.
Do I remember exactly what they were saying in Infernal before we went to the castle? Would I be able to roll to remember that?
You remember. Let's see if I remember.
Yeah, sorry.
The ruler of 9.
Was it like all hail the ruler of 9?
Yeah, something like that.
I
We can
whispered.
confirm that. The ruler of 1, the ruler of 9, the ruler of 1.
Yeah,
Something
I
like that.
whispered that into her ear.
Who are you?
Simply a friend of the lady.
She clutches her sewing up to her chest and she takes a few steps back. We're heading off down the hall and then taking a right.
Alright, I just sit there and wait then.
Eventually, Milan, what are you doing here?
I'm back in town. I wanted to come and see you.
It seems, did you make an appointment?
I didn't realize I had to make appointments.
Oh yes.
Yes. Well, I sincerely apologize for not making one then.
Well, thank you, but perhaps next time you will?
Of course, next time I definitely will.
Certainly. I'm quite busy at the moment.
Was
Is this quick?
I'm merely here to chit chat. I did not realize appointments had to be made for any casual affairs as
Yes,
well.
I'm sorry, we're quite in the middle of something. I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, what?
It is a private affair.
I cast suggestion on her.
Alright, go for it.
Wisdom saving throw.
What do I gotta beat?
15.
Oh.
Of
Damn.
course.
What did you
Nope.
roll?
17.
That was a 17. Of course not.
She looks at you. I think I'd like you to leave.
Why?
Do you not think I recognize a spell when I see one?
I hope you did. You did write down all of them for my spell book.
I did, and you gave me a spell book to write.
I did. I'm very curious as to what you're doing there, though. What do you do here?
Very well, come see. She guides you back towards the study. The hallway that you've walked before in the dead of night. Into the library. The pocket doors closed. She puts a hand on them, turns around looking at you, and then swings one open. And in there you can see all manner of decorations, tablecloths being sewn, candles strewn about the room and collected and poured. There's actually a table where someone is there making wicks. Yes, miss? Any more questions?
No, I was merely curious. Don't see why this was so hard to show.
It wasn't, and now you've seen it, and now I trust you'll keep it secretive, yes?
Oh yes, I will turn you to this one.
Very well. As you can see, I'm quite busy.
Oh yes, of course.
I'd like you to leave.
All right. Fine talking to you.
Yes.
Bye.
She goes and turns into the room, closing the pocket doors behind her.
I slowly walk out of the house.
Okay. You see that other lady,
Sorry.
still with her embroidery. She stops there, watching you.
Can I help you? Good. I continue.
She peers around the corner as you head towards that door. Do you close it behind you?
Yeah.
You step back out into the street. And before I come back to you, I'm going to go to Amadeus again for a moment. Amadeus. You amidst the rubble, the wreckage. You sat there comforting your wife. You got her to drop her knife.
I like his music. It's cool. Yeah.
And yet you get the sense of something on the staircase. There, walking down the steps.
Gosh, son of a gun.
I knew it was going. He's gonna be Dracula.
Is Strahd Valzarovich. He takes a step, coming to Svezni, and there he almost seems to float over it, gliding down, and his heels click, clack on the stone as he steps over a dead raven. Coming closer to you. You're there on your hands and knees before your wife, crouched together beside Elvir, who lays dead. He looks down at you. Perhaps you are in an easier position to make such a trade. presents forth that box, about a meter long, and you know within it is Lenore's arm.
You think I want to make a deal with you after you just massacred everyone here?
To be frank, I do not care what you wish to do. Either you will hand me the symbol, or I will take the symbol. I am no longer asking. He holds this box as if one rests a hand upon the pommel of a sword, and there he lets up a moment where his hand's dropping to his side as the box falls forward and slaps against the cold stones before you. It springs open. And there, Lenore's arm is shed in moonlight that streams in through the faint windows on either side of this main hall. The cold, dead skin, somehow preserved.
Is the light still showing on the amulet?
It is, but it's not faced towards him directly. It scatters out about his feet, and you actually see there those tendrils of light. They catch the mist that seems to gather around him. Shines rays, God rays, out across the main entrance hall.
I'm gonna give him the amulet.
You are? Okay. You reach out to him with the amulet?
Yes.
As you do, the light continues to shine from it. As you hold it up to him, you actually see as it touches his shoes and his legs there, it almost seems to steam and smoke pittering off of him. He doesn't move in this, but you can hear almost the sizzling sound coming off of him. He reaches out his hand. You got it right there, my boy.
I forgot.
Give it.
He takes it, the amulet all the while shining in intense bright light. You hear the bubbling, the sizzling of meat as if it's sitting on a cast iron as you place it in the palm of his hand. His hand for a moment seems to shake until as he grabs it and you let go. It dims, and the light vanishes, seeming to suck back into the amulet itself. He looks back up to you. Let's see what the way he turns, and there the mist follows behind him until eventually, in a pool, he seems to fall to pieces and skitter out. Tendrils of fog as they lace throughout these bodies. We now go back to Anna.
Ended there.
As you're coming back down the stairwell, suddenly a bright cast of light comes from that heart. You hear crystal and you hear it shatter. A stream, a crack breaks through that part, and pieces actually seem to fall like glass down, hitting some of the steps, and other pieces, rubies, seem to fall forever down into the abyss below. It continues to thud, until another bright light comes piercing through that crystal, and another spray of glass comes shattering. The whole thing continues to beat more violently now. Dun, 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 dun. And the thing continues to beat. It slowly recovers, slowing. But you can tell there's damage that can't be undone. Splits in the crystal, and you don't know where he is. But you think something has done this to him. It enrages you. And yet you're so hopeless to know what it could be in this moment as you're just standing here. What do you do?
Am I like super angry? Like enraged?
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, I would. Is that how I would feel?
Sure.
Up to you. Do what you want.
I'm gonna yell out Bucephalus.
Okay. You do that. And with that, you hear far off in the pits below you, as if rising from hell, you hear this the sound of hooves clattering against stone.
I'm angry.
Sparks begin to ignite and flare from down below, and you watch it as this beast, roiling in the black, comes spiraling out of this tunnel towards you. It passes you in an immense, overwhelming flare of heat, so much so it sends you backwards another step, and the beast lands with such ferocity, scraping its hoofs against the stone. It itself is a creature of rage. As it looks at you, you find yourself reflected in its violent nature. As you press a hand against its head, and it accepts, bowing slightly to let your hand run over its mane. The flames flickering and emitting puffs of smoke that trail off in black tendrils, and for a moment resemble that of an actual mane. With that, we're gonna have to stop.
I knew it.
I knew it. I thought you were gonna end earlier, and then you just kept going.
Dude.
What the?